be a raid on the airfield.
Or just shooting at shadows. No, nervy, the Germans. We've been raiding in a part of Calais, Peter told me.
How did Peter know?
And from Joe Lebec.
Joe Lebec?
Well, what Lebec told Peter was that he was in St. Malo.
When?
Last week. Met the skipper of a barge.
You mean he took his boat in St. Malo, did he?
Yeah.
He must be mad.
He's a good man. Oh, yeah, he always has been. Even so, he was in St. Malo, and this barge skipper he knows had come down from Rouen, told him we'd landed troops one night near Le Touquet. Killed 2 Germans.
What is it, do you suppose? Not an air raid?
Not just shooting at shadows, though, are they?
Surely to God.
What?
Our people wouldn't come raiding here, would they? They wouldn't be so mad as to do that.
Over.
Seems to be. I must go to the hospital.
Oh, Philip, must you?
Well, of course. They'll be wounded.
I'll come with you.
No, Claire, you won't. Not while the curfew's on.
But if they're shooting...
Well, then I must just hope they don't shoot me.
Oh,
My dear child, there's no need to be afraid. Whatever it was out there, it's over now.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm just cold, that's all.
Well, then go back to bed. It'll be morning. Quite soon.
Claire? Tell me.
Tell you what?
What it is that's been so bad with you since the day you went to Corbière. Whatever it was bad happened to you that day at Corbière.
No.
Tell me, won't you? Clive, was it? Come back.
They were taking him off that night, the Navy.
You should have told us, told me.
He said, tell no one, he said.
Well, not me, even.
If the Germans had caught him, he was a spy, you see. They would have shot him and anyone who helped him.
One does hear such awful things the Germans have done.
Oh, the Germans have done.
Claire, what happened at Corbière?
There was a German there. He saw us. So I killed him.
Come on, get him over!
You
Killed him, yes.
How?
He was standing by the sea. He saw Clive. So I picked up a stone and threw it at him. He fell into the sea. The sea washed over him and he was gone.
Dead. How do you know?
He must have been, or else they would have come for me.
Clive?
Well, he went then. There was a boat to take him off. But I think he will have come back.
Here's the last.
No, sir. Major Kirk was at the church covering us back.
Where's he now?
Got hit. Done for. All of them.
Christ's sake, no!
If they should ever know what you did.
The Germans ever know. Or at the tennis club.
Oh, Claire!
Your friends would not be so jolly glad if ever they should know to have me in the mixed doubles with them. Is that what you mean? Something awful like that?
You little bitch, don't you talk to me! What am I to tell your father?
Well, tell him, Mummy, not a damn thing. I'm sorry I told you, but then I always have.
Yes, you have. Always.
Poor Mummy. I won't be the same anymore, will I?
Just off, if I can get the car started.
Balls up this show's been. Jesus, what a balls up.
Can't have clobbered them all, can they? Can't all be in the bag.
Be full light soon. Not gonna get off, are we? Unless we go now.
You then, Corporal.
Sir?
Tell them when you get back. There'll be some who've gone to ground. Wounded. So I've stayed here to do all I can. Here, take this. You tell them, Corporal, what a bull's up it was. Had it. You. No. Good nick. Morphine. Dressing. Anything. Dressing. Try and make a tourniquet. Give yourself up.
No.
You've got to. You'll bleed to death.
I'll lay up until it gets dark. Then I'll get off.
How the hell will you do that?
Just you, get me to a boat.
No, I'll get you into the house. There's a doctor here. He'll be able to come and look after you. His name's Martel. You may know his son, Clive Martel. Dorset Regiment. I was with him here in the militia.
So why aren't you with him now?
I would have been, but I got stuck.
Ah! What stopped you?
The Germans and others who say that those who get away have to be paid for by those who don't get away.
You're Portuguese, is it?
Yes. Martel saw me here when he was on his recce.
He told me it
Is he with you now?
was when we landed. God knows now. They cut us to bloody bits.
Major, sir, I'll hide you. But if I do...
And they find me, you're for the chop.
If I do, and this butcher is not properly treated, then you're for the chop.
Damn your bloody eyes, then I'll go.
Where? It's a very small island, this. There's not a great deal of cover for running.
What they did, Reinecker, was to land here at Plenmore, where they'd blocked the road to hold you when they got off the beach.
No, not at Plenmore. Where we got hit was St. Saviour. They had a Bren gun in the churchyard firing down the road. They were falling back on La Corbière, across those fields, and in the dark. They knew the ground. They must have known the ground.
Reinecker, do you know who it is who lives at St. Saviour?
Porteous.
The one who tried to get away when the fishermen were shot.
Peter Porteous, yes.
Burn him up then, shall I?
Porteus's mother is kinswoman to the Veldendorfs, did you know, from Württemberg, also by marriage to the Comtesse de Thizier-Vasancourt.
Her son is a farmer, that is all.
So was Himmler?
A poultry farmer, Himmler, wasn't he? Kept chickens.
Am I off?
Oh, Reineke, don't be so bloody regimental. Go to St. Saviour, kick the doors down, and drag out what Tommies you find, eh? Not that you will, because they got shot to bloody bits or drowned. And the poor sods not dead already will give themselves up in the end, because there's nowhere for them to go, is there? Only the sea.
The Porteous lady,
What?
is she kinswoman to those Almanac de Goethe folk you said she was?
Of course not. But if thinking so prevents Reineke from putting the torch to her Aubusson carpets, I doubt she'll mind what I told him. Reineke is of the party.
And we know how very properly our Bohemian corporal regards the aristocracy.
So he does. Well then, Friedel, one must do what one can for one's own kind.
Which Reineke is not.
Reineke has this awful German thing, forgive me, Friedel, of going on and on, too loud and too long.
Like Wagner.
Quite so. Hitler, too, all the same. Nevertheless, Reineke was right. Whether they landed at Plenmont or La Corbière, one thing is certain. The Tommies knew the ground. That if it was Porteus who brought them in from the sea...
We must shoot him, I suppose.
Pour encourager les autres. Which is why the English, from time to time, used to shoot their admirals. But I doubt they'll come raiding here again. The butcher's bill was too high.
And I was glad because I heard the cry of Hans. And that's the song. Harry? Got it right here, Harry. Hack on, will you? And that's the song. Cock gun. Mag off. Mag on. Carry on firing. Damn your bloody eyes. Get the brain gun on.
No more I can do, I'm afraid. Need a surgeon. Sorry.
You've got to get him to hospital?
If we do, how long before the Germans know? They'll come here, of course. And there's the one out in the barn, dead.
Give him up.
Well, he'll die for certain if he stays here.
You say we should tell them?
But the Commandant, yes. Better for him. Better for you, too.
Look, there may be others, sir, hiding out. Clive, maybe.
Did he say so?
He said that Clive was with them when they landed. He said it was Clive who brought them in from the sea.
Where?
Corbière, in boats from a destroyer.
Madness.
To land at Corbière, the Germans would
No,
have thought so.
madness
Yeah.
to have raided here. What was it that couldn't have been better done with a bomber?
Show them the bastards that the army's not done for. Hit them where we can, any damn where we can.
The tides at La Corbière are bloody awful for small boats. And to get ashore and up that cliff at night, they had to be led by a man who knew the tides and the way up the cliff.
Clive, yes.
But the last we heard of him, he was with his battalion in Dorchester.
He was here just a few days ago.
The Commandant told me he had cause to think so, yes. So I gave the Commandant my word as the man who would surely know that my son was not on the island. I give him my word. Do you see?
It was reconnaissance.
For what they did last night?
Yes.
The raid?
Yes.
Did you know?
Yes, sir.
Who else knew? My wife.
No, sir.
Claire.
Clive asked that you shouldn't be told...
Not to be trusted.
But not to be at risk. I mean, if the Germans had caught him, he would have been shot.
According to the laws and usages of war, as they say.
According to the laws and usages of war, as they say, he was a spy.
Yes, so he was then. Not now, a soldier now. Suppose in the fight he didn't get off the island. Where would he go?
We talked about that.
Where?
Last night was black as a bear's arse. No, where we found them floating was there. The tide was setting westerly, so they come off the beach about here.
What we thought, yes.
They set down on Les Anouilh. The boat got hold, or they broached to and sank. Anyway, poor bastards drowned.
Sorry for them, I am.
Why not? Tonight could be me. By the way, Kluger, you noticed on deck. One of them we picked up was ours. He fetched up on Les Anouilh where they did. And all of them was one of ours.
Such Teutonic symbolism is beyond me. I'm a simple man.
He was a pilot. It was odd, I thought.
Why? Surely to God we lost enough of them?
This one we didn't lose flying. No parachute. Not even a life jacket.
Who was he?
Not that you'd know from what was left of his face.
Kessler, was it? Willie Kessler? He'd been in Poland. Had a good war, rather. But that was in Poland. So, he did go down to the sea at Corbière and never came back.
Had enough, had he?
Haven't you?
Kluger, whoever brought that raid in last night was a bloody good seaman.
There are good seamen, I suppose, in the Royal Navy?
No more than just that. Good seamen who could read charts. It's a god-awful coast with small boats. And who knew these waters.
The poor fellows who drowned on Les Anouilh must have thought not, wouldn't you say?
It could be he got left on the beach. Didn't take him off. If I were you, I'd look for a sailor. A fisherman, maybe.
And if you were me, where would you do that?
Well, there's a bar in the Ruette de Clotilde.
I've heard so, yes.
A woman runs it.
Fat Molly.
No. You know her, do you?
Only by repute.
And if I want to know about seamen in such and St. Peter Port, I'd ask her. Not that she'd tell you.
Tell you, though, would she? What would it cost?
A blind eye to what she gets from St. Malo.
Or to who brings what she gets from St. Malo? You, maybe?
She's a widow.
Sad.
Lost a man off Pointe-de-Raz before the war.
Ask her for me, will you? The one who brought the raid in. Who?
bloody quisling, you.
Mr. Porteous?
The bastard could close this place down, if he wanted to. Ship you off to France.
Why would he do that?
You're prejudicial to military discipline and good order. A temptation to the virginal honor of the soldier sons of our glorious German motherhood. It used to say you're a whore.
I'm a citizen of the Republic of Ireland.
So, you're a neutral whore.
So who's he, then?
Kluge? Oberleutnant Kluge.
SS, is he?
Feldpolizei.
Like the Tans.
What?
Fleck and Tans. They shot me dad.
Oh.
Devil the colour of coat they wear, soldiers are all the same.
The Oberleutnant is no more a soldier than that scout minds the Prince Eugen. No. Kluge just likes to hunt.
Hunt what?
Whatever's in season. You may be.
Why?
Kluge knows that our gallant lads don't go piss back to barracks every night and what they drink at the Soldatenheim. And Kluge knows there are Matellows on this island who slip across to the Rance whenever the weather's thick.
That's how I lost my Jack.
And Kluge knows the man that had chanced that for a barrel of Calvados is the man to bring in a raid. Like last night at Corbière.
Day after the day King Teddy married the Simpson woman.
What?
Jack got drowned.
Yeah.
I'd hear that. What you were asking? There's one I know who would and likely did. He was away in his boat last week.
By order of the Commandant, you may go.
Where?
Back to your garden, is it?
Farm.
Back to your dunghill, then.
Do you play tennis?
Excellently.
I could beat you in straight sets.
At tennis?
Or any damn thing.
At the Real Gymnasium at Halle, where I was a student, the saber was my sport.
Pistol, though, now, is it? At the back of the neck.
Go home. To the women.
Why not? I could beat you at that, too. I say, it's not that you don't like women, is it?
We're gonna hang out the washing on the...
Members of the British Armed Forces who are hiding in Guernsey and those who are in any way helping them, The surrender at the Island Police Station at St. Peter Port at 6 p.m. on Monday, the 12th of August, 1940. Members of the British Armed Forces who obey this order will be treated as prisoners of war, and no action will be taken against those who have helped them. Any members of the British Armed Forces who may be found after this time will be dealt with as an agent of an enemy power, and those who have helped in hiding such persons
will be shot.
Will suffer the consequences of what they have done.
Will be shot.
According to the laws and usages of war.
May I remind you, sir, that it was Porteous who reported to the Feldkommandanteur the presence at St. Saviour's of the wounded officer.
May I submit, sir, that he did so only because he was persuaded by you that life as a prisoner of war has less pain than death by gangrene. Porteous sails close to the wind. Too close, perhaps, in such dangerous waters.
Not last night.
I believe what you say.
Thank you.
And he's been let go. Even so, I know, and you know, that the raid last night was not landed without help from here, on the island.
The raid last night was a military nonsense. What in God's name was it for?
Some warlike fellow at the Ministry of Information to say, don't care about the bombs on Bethnal Green. We've hit the bloody Hun. That's what it was for.
That all, though, was it?
When I was at Peterhouse, I used to hunt now and then with the Cotswold, you know? And always there was some hard-ass chap to say, what a jolly fine bump round. Must have been a cracking 5-mile point. Now shall we have some tea? That man is a general now. Do you sail, Doctor?
No.
Your son, surely?
Yes.
The Englishman's love of the sea and the Englishman's love of the chase. There was no military cause for raiding here. But your fellows had a jolly fine bump round. Pity was so few went home to tea. Come. My order is, Doctor, that any soldier found in hiding 3 days from now will be dealt with as an agent of an enemy power.
And suffer the consequences, yes, yes.
I'm sure that you will do what should be done. Because we also have fellows who like to hunt.
Tally ho.
Now, Otto.
We have him.
Have you be damned?
Trouble is, he's mad.
Yes. Quite mad.
Anyone here?
Hello, sir.
No, Clive. You all right?
Quite well, sir, thank you. How's Mother?
She's quite well under the circumstances.
Sorry.
No, not at all. No, I might have been one of them. Besides, old Pitt Catholick's place isn't quite the place for a last stand.
So beyond that now? Only thing now is to get away. I found water here.
Yeah?
Peaches, too. Don't do right, though.
Yeah. He was always rather proud of his peaches, old Pitt Catholic. I dare say he'd not begrudged them, though. Oh, the Pitt Catholics got off, by the way, on the Sherringham last time she saw it. In rather a hurry.
I saw Diana in London before she...
Bread and cheese. Best I could do.
Thank you.
There's no pickled onions left, sorry.
How did you know I'd be here?
Well, it's terribly noisy out at St. Saviour's last night.
So Jerry biffed us rather wrong,
Peter found the Major wounded.
Kirk, was it Major Kirk?
Yes, he's in hospital. He told us when he landed you were with him, but after he got hit...
Yes, we were going down on the Corbière, then he was covering us.
Well, so he didn't know what happened after, no? Well, I thought if you'd not got off in a boat, not
Count for a bet?
Yeah, you might come here. You used to come here quite often.
She's dead.
What?
Diana's dead. She was in the Wrens, you know.
Yeah.
I saw her when I was with my battalion in Dorchester. She was at Portland waiting to be drafted. We were to have had dinner in Weymouth just a few days ago. But she didn't come.
Air Raid, was it?
Bombers on a convoy off Portland. These Stukas are just carrion for our fighter chaps. This one got caught by a hurricane before he could roll into his dive and bomb. So he came weaving in off the sea with this hurricane shooting bits off him. Dropped his bomb and killed 18 of them. Girls in the Wren barracks. This lieutenant commander who saw it told me. Bloody thing was the Stuka got away, he said. Streaming glycol, it must have been hit. Maybe went down in the sea. That's the trap.
Perhaps he did. Fond of Diana, weren't you?
Yes, I was, rather.
Yeah. The Germans are searching all over the island.
Bit of a shaky do, sir.
What the hell was it for?
We have to come back. We have to come back.
For? So what are you going to do now?
Lie up.
Here?
You tell people. Any troops left here on the island, bring them here. I'll get them away.
How?
By boat.
What, Navy? Clive. This morning I was sent for by the Commandant.
Sent for?
The Commandant has issued an order. Any of you who surrender by Monday, any of you who surrender by then, will be dealt with as prisoners of war.
Jolly sporting of the Commandant.
After that, though, any of you found hiding and any of us who've helped you hide will be dealt with as agents of an enemy power and will suffer the consequences, as the Commandant says, according to the laws and usages of war.
Shoot us, will you?
Oh, he's a soldier, Clive. He'll be very correct in what he does.
Before Dunkirk, at a place called Wermhout, on the road to Dunkirk, the Liebstandard regiment of the Waffen-SS took prisoner 100 or so, gunners and infantry, Warwicks, Cheshires, and Royal Artillery. They locked them in a barn and lobbed grenades at them. Those they didn't kill with the grenades, they forced out into the open and shot. 5 at a time, they shot them. Laws and usages of war, did you say?
What do you want me to do?
Go to Grand Havre, find Joe Lebec and ask him if he wants to run ashore. In Weymouth.
What is it?
Clive's here.
Yeah?
Old Pip Cathley's place. Hiding.
Is he all right?
Only he's not hurt. Not hurt at all.
Oh. What will he do?
Get away, he says. Wants me to go to Grand Havre. Clive's here.
Yes.
At Diana's house, where he always was summers when she was home.
Diana's dead. Killed in an air raid. Clive told me.
How is he, Clive?
Harder than he was. All are they, weren't we?
Claire?
Knew he was here, yes. When he was landed from the fishing boat.
Claire, tell him.
Oh, now, what more has she got to tell me? She's going to start telling me I'm a quisling again, is she?
no.
She's going to tell me she didn't trust me to know that Clive had been put ashore by the Royal Navy to reconnoitre for the raid. Is that it? Well, what more has Claire got to tell me?
I killed a German. On the beach at La Corbière, I hit him with a stone. He fell into the sea and was drowned. Oh.
Come at a bad time, have I? Sorry.
Oh, you scared us. We thought you were
someone else.
Clive? Well, surely not. Was he there? Good. Let's hope there's some others lying up.
Yes.
Well, I thought to myself, Clive will be needing a boat if he's not got the chop, so I went down to Grand Havre to see if I can find Joe Lebec.
But that's what he asked me to do.
Yes, well, I thought he might. Well, nip over to the mainland one filthy night when the E-boats aren't out. Who better than Joe? So... Anyway, I went down to find him, but the trouble is he's in the bag.
What?
The Germans have got him.
Why?
Well, the word is that it was Joe who brought in the raid.
No.
Yes. He took his boat to sea, they say. Met the Navy off Les Anois and took on troops and landed them at the Corbière.
Lebec did this?
So they say, yes. Took on the troops, put the Navy's whalers in tow and put them on the beach at Corbière. But we know, don't we, that that's not true.
Where did you hear this about Lebec?
Down in some dive bar. Fat Molly's. In Grand Havre, they're drinking his health. Our gallant matelot gave Hitler a bloody nose. All that.
That's sad.
Why?
Well, I never heard a good word for him at Grand Havre or anywhere until now.
The man's no good. He's a damn scoundrel.
So they all say, but I'd not have thought you two.
But you know what he did.
It doesn't matter what he did. I mean, all that's forgotten. The man's a hero.
What will they do, the Germans?
Try him as an agent of an enemy power before a military tribunal. Take him to Cherche Midi.
And shoot him.
Well...
Oh, shoot him, won't they?
My dear, do you suppose we might have some tea?
Tea?
Yeah.
Oh. Look, I mean, if Clive gave himself up, as a soldier, he'd be treated as a prisoner of war.
Have Major Richter's word so, yes, but then Major Richter had my word that Clive wasn't here on the island when indeed he was, as a spy.
But you weren't to know that?
My dear Peter, do you think a military tribunal is going to believe that?
Well, it is true, and the Germans have got Lebec.
For an act of war done by Lieutenant Martel. Am I to tell Clive?
Well, will you?
Well, if I do, he'll surrender, of course. Caged in. Barbed wire.
If you don't, Lebec goes to Cherche Midi in the firing squad.
Try him here, shoot him at Castle Cornet.
Oh, what then? Put his head on a pole, would you, on the ramparts?
We must give these people a warning.
These people won't come down from their mountains and murder us. They have no mountains. They won't come out of their forests at night and garrote our sentries and cut our throats and burn us alive. There are no forests. There will be no guerrillas here.
But there is the sea.
Yes, there is the sea. Out there, between us and them, there is the sea.
In Poland, what we did in order
I know in Poland what your fellows did.
My fellows have found 3 more Tommies in a barn at Torteval. A corporal and 2 privates. It makes 9.
What do they say?
What would they say?
Name, rank, and number.
Take them to Saint-Malo.
Yes, sir.
And Lebec?
Tell me again why we should have him shot.
The fellow has confessed.
So did the half-wit Dutchman who said he'd burned down Reichstag. But had he?
Lebec has confessed that as an agent of the enemy he engaged against us in an act of war. What else should we do but shoot him?
That was not your attitude in connection with the Porteous escape, I recall. You spoke then of local resentment and, what was it, Berlin's view.
You are correct, Commandant. But with respect, that was a civilian escapade on the eve of occupation. We are concerned here with enemy action. Now, the man must be dealt with.
String him up, maybe? With piano wire?
What do you think, Kluge?
I think Reinecke is a pain in the arse.
About Lebec.
Lebec is queer in the head. Smells like a sick fox. Lives alone, no one to give a damn for him. That boat of his I wouldn't sail it across the Ulster, let alone out to Les Anois to rendezvous with the HMS Bloody Hood or whatever she was.
Well, is that what he did?
Says he did.
Confessed he did.
My trade was living off informers, Reinecker. Up and down the Ripperbahn, when all you were doing was banging your big bass drum in the Hitler Youth. A confession, Reinecker, as one moves in for the kill, should be a cry of surrender, yes? This was the squeal of a pig in a knacker's yard. I am not a butcher. If all he wants is a head on a pole to frighten the citizens, then one carcass will do as well as another, yes?
No. No, Reinecker, it will not.
Did you find him? Wasn't he there at Grand Havre?
Clive must give himself up, of course.
You want him not to escape?
Over the body of that man, no.
Not just that, though, is it? You want Clive safe.
Oh, yes.
Out of the war.
Hardly safe, would it be? Starving behind barbed wire in Silesia or somewhere.
Out of the war? The way we're out of the war?
We must save what we can.
Like that packet of tea you hid under the kitchen floor.
Save what we can of how we were.
Well, what do you suppose would be saved of how Clive was? After years, God knows years, in a prison camp.
You say Clive should go.
Such a waste of him, I say, not to go.
And if he does, and because he does, that poor wretch should lose his life, what do you suppose could be saved of him then?
Tell me, what did Jollebeck ever do to you?
You wanted a name. I gave you a name.
That one's name, though. Why?
Does it matter to you?
I will not be used, you know, to pay off old scores.
Who said that? Said it was for that.
It wasn't for money, was it? Ah, of course. He's the one who took away your honor. Did he?
Not him. Years ago, that was. Behind some old bandstand on the dusty grass. Listen. He drowned my Jack was on.
Your husband?
Point the rats. I'll tell you, he was a decent fella.
Jack?
Joe Lebec drowned off Point the Rats. Day after the day King Teddy married the Simpson woman. That year that was, what with one thing and another.
Off Ponderats, then?
They were running up from Saint Nazaire, just the two boats. Joe Lebec was drunk. Just like he was always drunk. Got drove ashore in a gale of wind. So Jack stood his boat alongside to take Joy off. He got smashed by the sea, and Jack was drowned, and 4 fellas along with him. Joe Lebec, though, got picked up by a Portuguese, and he was the only one.
kids in this town are orphaned because of him. You see what become of me. Does Joe say it was him brought the soldiers? So he was the lying bastard, everyone in a bloody medal.
What? After we've shot him? Surely not.
Better that maybe than living the life he does.
But it's not true, is it? That he brought the soldiers in.
Could have been. And what does it matter? Listen! For the first time since that bad day he drowned my Jack, there's folks who don't spit when they speak of Joy Lebec. And don't forget who it was gave you the name!
379512, Lieutenant Clive Martell.
Thank you, Herr Lieutenant.
I wish you to know that as a serving officer of my regiment, it was I who led the raid in last night from the sea. No one who lives here on the island was in any way concerned.
Indeed.
You have my word, sir.
Have I? Then I accept your word, sir.
You will understand, Major, that other than this I have nothing to say.
But I have. You were wasted, Herr Lieutenant, and I'm sorry for you.